in Serbia, most of the property and real estate that you see around this country is owned free and clear. However, there is a new program that is coming out that is being brought into Serbia for the first time ever, and this is for the first time home buyers. And I want to talk about this article because there are some things that and warning signs that ring in my head that are saying this sounds very much like what's happening in the West and how people are actually ruining their lives. And this is coming to the housing loan program that is being brought in by the president of Serbia and Banca Intesa. And so today we're going to talk about this loan program and go through this article and talk about what I think about this program. Is it good? Is it bad? Stay tuned and we'll find out. So this article came out January 22nd of this year, 2025. And it starts off with this, that Banca Intesa Belgrade will participate as a leader in the government's 400 million euro loan program designed to help young people buy their first property, Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić said. And, that sounds great and all. However, there's a lot of programs that Serbia has for people that are buying their first property here in Serbia. For instance, I, as a Serbian citizen, purchased my first property here in Serbia, and because I purchased my first property in Serbia, I was able to get all the tax money back on that property that I purchased, and that was put into a bank account that I could use towards furnishing the place, buying appliances, putting a kitchen in, whatever I might need it, and it was a good chunk of money that you get back. So this is not one of the only programs that they have in this article here. There's other programs that they do have, but let's continue on about what they say in this program, and then I'm going to talk about what I think about this program. And I'd love to hear your opinions, the viewers and subscribers of this video. What are your thoughts when it comes to this? Today, I spoke with Banca Intesa executives who accepted to take part in our housing loan program. Vučić said on the sidelines of the World Economic Forum in Davos on Tuesday, as seen in a video posted on the YouTube channel of the ruling Serbian Progressive Party (SNS). So my first thoughts off that paragraph there is that he was at the World Economic Forum in Davos, which, if you have been paying attention to the WEF, you don't want anything to do with the WEF. They are a party that I believe does not have the best interest in mind for people in this world whatsoever. And I'm just going to leave it at that. I'd love to hear your thoughts on the WEF. Banca Intesa Belgrade, part of Italy's Intesa Sanpaolo group, is the largest bank in terms of assets in Serbia, according to the latest available Serbian central bank figures. When presenting the housing loan program last month, Vučić stated that the state-run lender Bank Poštanska Štedionica would bear the largest burden of the initiative. The program, which is expected to be launched in March, will be backed by a government guarantee scheme and will subsidize the purchase of a total of 5,500 housing units targeting people age 20 to 35. The initiative cuts mandatory minimum down payment of housing loans to 1% from the current 10 to 20%, with loans offering a maximum repayment period of 40%. Let's stop there for a second before I get into the last little paragraph here as well, where my warning signs come up. And this comes from someone who has been in Canada, and they have this exact same system in Canada and what is happening. And this comes from someone who didn't own a house in Canada. We actually owned real estate property. So what I'm talking about when I say real estate property is investment property. We had tenants there. We had people paying our mortgages, paying our insurance, paying the bills and not something that we had to pay out of pocket ourselves. And that's something we're going to be doing here in Serbia as well, is doing investment properties, not just owning a house and paying our own bills. That's not how we operate, or I don't anyways. I'm a very business-minded individual. And so what I see here is that this 10 to 20% down payment that they have now being lowered down to 1% is good, if you ask me. However, a 40-year mortgage is not good. And the reason I say that is because it has been proven through basic math that the longer the mortgage that you have on your house, the more interest you're actually paying. Even though your monthly payments are lower, you're going to be paying almost as much as that house is worth just in interest payments. And so you're better off, if you're going to be only putting 1% down, which sounds great. I'm going to put 1% down on my property, and say it's, $100,000 property, and I'm going to put down 1% of that $100,000. So I'm going to put down $1,000, and now I'm going to finance $99,000. What is that interest payment going to be on? Whereas if it's going to be on that 99%, but if you put 10 to 20% down, so now you're talking $10,000 or $20,000 on that $100,000, your interest payment is not going to be as much as if you were to do 1% payment. And I would also recommend that you find a way to get a lower amortization period, not 40 years, try 25, 20, whatever it is. Now, if you are looking to do this as a rental property, this might be a good strategic move, because you can put a little bit down and get your tenants to pay all this off. But I am always of the mind to get things paid off sooner rather than later. And so if you can put down a bigger chunk off the bottom and make some money off the bat, and use it to purchase a second, third, 10th property, whatever it might be, that's the way to do it. Now, on this last paragraph, they talk about the interest rates, where I think is where they're going to get you. Participating banks will provide a 1-year grace period for the loans, which will have a fixed interest rate of 3.5% for the first 6 years. During this period, a 2% government subsidy will reduce the effective interest rate for borrowers to 1.5%. After, a variable interest rate based on the 3-month of 6-month Euribor plus 2 will apply. So one thing I know for a fact is, and I don't know how people here in Serbia are with their finances, I know in Canada that we live on a high credit system, and people are very bad at saving money or being able to manage their money. That's why in Canada, 80% of the people cannot miss one paycheck or they're in financial ruins. And so when you start offering a lot more people credit out there, they're going to think that they can afford this. Oh, I have 6 years to, pay the 1.5%. So I can go buy this, I can go buy that, I can go on this vacation. I don't have to work, whatever it might be. That 6 years is going to move very fast. And if they're offering this to people that are, what do they say, from 20 to 35, people that are 20 to 35, maybe not in Serbia, because I've said that kids here in Serbia or people here in Serbia are a lot more mature at an earlier age. But I know 20 to 30-year-olds in Canada, they're not really thinking about, their obligations and how math works. But if you're going to be doing this, I would also look out about this variable-based interest rate. Sure, they're going to give you a government subsidy on that 3.5% of 2%, so that brings you down to 1% for 6 years. But after that, what is your interest rate going to be? And we've seen in Canada, and I've seen in Canada, what can happen with a variable rate. Look what happened in Canada the past 2-3 years with people that were on variable rate mortgages. Those mortgage rates went to 6, 7, 8%. And people didn't know. Right now, even right now, people are deciding, do they pay their mortgage or do they pay their electric bill? Do they pay their mortgage or do they pay their gas bill? Do they pay their mortgage or do they put food on the table? And banks are in the business of making money. And so the idea I've always seen with banks is to negotiate with them, because they're always going to dangle that carrot in front of you to get you to sign that contract, get you locked up for 40 years. And then what are you going to do? They're going to, once 6 years passes, because the banks are in it for the long term, they're not in it for the short term. So after 6 years of 1.5%, we're going to jack up that interest rate so high to make our money back that we lost on that 6 years. So I do not believe that this is a great platform. For those that are good, with their money, that are looking for investment properties. Serbia is doing quite well right now. There's a lot of job opportunities. People are living very well in Serbia. So, there's ways to save money, but you have to buckle your belt. You can't be, splurging on things as the money comes in. If you want to buy a house, and I would say this right now to anyone out there that's younger, save your money right now, especially if you have a good paying job, and put a good down payment on there. On that house that you're looking to purchase, regardless if it's a house or an apartment. And then, if you're still living at home, maybe see about renting it out to someone and making money so that you can purchase your second, third, fourth property, and so that you have that steady stream of income. See about getting someone else to pay these mortgage rates, get someone else to pay your utility bills, and so that it's an actual investment property and something that's going to repay you down the road, rather than it being a burden on you. So what are your thoughts on this process? This is something new that's coming out. Like it said, it's rolling out in March. We at Relocation Serbia will be keeping our ears open as to the development of this program, what it's actually going to look like when it does come out, and see who it all applies to. Is it going to also apply to people that are coming into Serbia as well, that are getting jobs here as well, so that they can purchase their first property, or is it going to only apply to people that are in Serbia themselves? So keep a lookout for the future video that I will be talking about this as it develops. So that means what you need to do is subscribe if you have not subscribed. Hit that bell notification so you can get notified on future videos, and hit that like button, not just because you like this video, but so the people that need to hear this information actually can get it, and the algorithm of YouTube can put it out in front of them. Thanks for watching. I'll see you on the next one.